Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me at the slightly earlier time of 8:30, and welcome back if you've joined me again from last week. Hope we're all feeling well this morning. So today's workout is a warm-up to antenatal and postnatal running, so running through pregnancy or postnatally. Equipment that you will need is if you've got a weight plate or if you've got a book or something that you can use as a block. I have got this, sandy toes and salty kisses. So anything will do, anything that you can use just as like a little bit of a leverage, a little bit of a platform. And then also some lightweight tins of beans, bottles of water, whatever you've got handy would be fab. A little bit about me, if you didn't join me last week, I am Rosie. I'm a midwife, and I also work as a level 3 antenatal and postnatal fitness instructor at Glowing Mammas. So hello to any of my Glowing Mammas who might be watching. So I ran through my pregnancy with my third child. So I was a runner. I sort of ran on and off for about, since school, to be honest, about 11 years. But it's been very much on and off. I only really got into it properly, probably after I'd had my middle child, who's now 6. So I didn't really run through the pregnancy with him, but I did take it up again postnatally. But with my third child, I ran through the pregnancy with her. So I did a half marathon in my second trimester, did a 10k in my third trimester. So I tried to keep sort of going as long as I felt comfortable. And I always said, as soon as I stop feeling comfortable, and, if I start, needing the toilet, or if it's just, I get any pain or anything, I just would stop when I needed to. But luckily, with that pregnancy, I just always felt comfortable. I was really, really lucky. I ran in my second trimester, the half marathon. With that one, I'd ran a half before I'd fallen pregnant in the May. And then this one was in the September. So I really, really took it super, super slow. And actually, I really enjoyed it. It was probably one of my favourite half marathons that I'd done. Just because there was no time pressure. I was just chatting away, to whoever I could find to talk to, because I can't stop talking anyway. So that was really, really nice for me not to have the pressure of having to complete it. And it was lovely, and I made sure I didn't overheat, drank lots of water, went to the toilet about 5 times, but that was fine because it didn't matter. I had no time pressures, and to be honest, I can't even remember what I got as a time. It didn't matter to me at all that day. I just wanted to go out and enjoy it and have a lovely half marathon. And then I did my 10k when I was around about 36 weeks pregnant, I think. And again, similar, really, really took it back. Chatty to whoever'd listened to me, or whoever couldn't run away fast enough from me. So that one was fine. And then actually when I was, with third babies, as you probably know, they can go either way. They can either be like a first baby, which tends to be quite a long slog. Some aren't, but it does tend to take a little bit longer with your first baby. Second babies often tend to zoom out before we've had a chance to get our gloves on. So with this one, I had quite a long latent phase of labour, which is where you're getting contractions, but you're not quite fully in labour yet. So I'd had that on and off. So it started the night before, gone off, and then it came again the next night, and then went off again. And then it was sort of niggling through the day. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to try and go for a little run just to see if I can bring things on a little bit. So I sort of ran from one lamppost to the next, and then stopped and walked, and then ran to the next lamppost and then walked a bit. And then actually this was around midday, 4 o'clock, things started happening. And then around 6 o'clock, proper labour started, and I had her at 7:21, and I ended up having a BBA, which is called born before arrival, so my husband delivered her. And everyone says, well, you're a midwife, so that would have helped things, but no, I was on another planet. I was no help, so well done, Mr. B. So yeah, that's my running experience through pregnancy. And yeah, I just, if you feel fit and able to do it, if you've ran before, why not carry it on? You know, you're not unwell, as long as you're a low risk pregnancy or you've had the okay from your doctor to carry it on. There is absolutely no reason why you need to stop running in pregnancy. It's super, super good for you to stay active, stay strong during pregnancy. And now I've got off my little, soapbox, shall we get working out? So this is your warm-up to start running. Obviously, you can watch it at any point before you go for your run. They will be saved in the videos on the Fitter Mama site. So please feel free to refer back to it again. And you can fast forward me going like that. All right, so we are going to start with a little stretch out, as we always do, get our muscles nice and warmed up. Obviously, make sure you have a drink handy as well. So we are going to start in chair pose. So sinking down into chair pose, breathing in and then breathing out. And as you breathe out, you can sink deeper into that pose, okay? Fab, well done. Into a forward fold, so obviously as far as your bump allows you to. We're going to walk it forward into a down dog. I'm just going to step back a little bit just so that you can see. Presuming you can still see, yeah. So you can pedal that out. So pedal your knees if you want to, if that feels comfortable. And then we are just going to bring our right knee forward by our right hand. Now, if you struggle with that, with bump or whatever else, feel free to sort of get up a little bit and move it forward yourself, okay? This is your workout, so you can just do it as you need to, as your body allows you to. So, if we go into a deep lunge, this is going to get our legs nice and stretched out, nice and warmed up, ready for exercise. If you're struggling with that, or you're quite heavily pregnant, you can drop down to your knee as well, okay? That's more comfortable for you. So each time we breathe out, we're going to sink deeper into that lunge. Oh, have we got a little visitor? Hold on. Sorry about that. Don't know who was there, or I don't know if the door was just opening. Couldn't see anyone there. Fab. Right, hands on the ground, feet back together, back into down dog. Fab, and then you're going to bring your left foot forward by your left hand. Like I say, feel free to reposition yourself. We're just going to go into a deep lunge on the left side, so breathing in and breathing out. Fab, place both hands on the floor, bring your foot back together next to the other foot, and again, just pedaling that through if that feels comfortable to you. So we're going to do it one more time on each side. So if we bring the right foot forward again, by the right hand, into another deep lunge. Placing both hands on the floor, bring that foot back next to the left foot. And then we'll do it one more time on the other side. So bringing your left foot forward by your left hand into a deep lunge. You have to watch your balance there. Placing both hands back down and then bring your foot back next to the other one. Fab, we're going to go onto all fours. We're going to round, just checking you can see me, round those shoulders forwards, looking towards the tops of your thighs. Draw that tummy button in. Flattening your back out, looking straight out in front of you, and you can sway from side to side if that feels comfortable for you. Don't forget to breathe either. Never forget to breathe. Round those shoulders forwards again, looking towards the tops of your thighs. Draw that tummy button in, make baby feel nice and supported. Flattening your back out, looking straight out in front of you. And again, just swaying from side to side. And then we'll do that one more time. So rounding those shoulders forwards again, looking towards the tops of our thighs. Flattening your back, looking straight out in front of you. Fab, and then we can tuck our toes under, back into a down dog. And then we're just going to slowly walk our hands back towards our feet. You can bend your knees, slowly come up into standing, so you don't want to give your head a little head rush. Fab, well done. If you feel dizzy at all during that, just have a sit down and have a drink if you need to, because I know suddenly when you get up from being down for a little while, it can make your head feel a little bit funny, can't it? Right, we're going to go into some pelvic floor now. Super, super important that we strengthen our pelvic floor, especially as runners. It's quite high impact, especially if you do a lot of road running on your pelvic floor. So it's really, really important we make that nice and strong. So I always do that as part of my warm-up before running, and also my cool down as well. So it depends, you can do it standing. I'll do it standing today. But if you need to, if you struggle to sort of feel where your pelvic floor is, feel free to sit down on a cushion, cross-legged, and do it that way as well. So we're going to start by drawing our tummy button in, and then we're going to go for 10 quick squeezes. So to squeeze your pelvic floor, it's squeezing your back passage. So I think I said last week, imagine you're in a lift full of whoever you fancy. So mine is Ollie Mers, so I'm stood right next to Ollie Mers. I really need to pass wind, so you got to squeeze and hold it in, okay? So we're going to do for 10 quick squeezes to begin with. So we're going to squeeze, release, 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 and squeeze and release. Fab, well done. So it's kind of like a squeezing and pulling up effect, so you're keeping your core engaged and you're squeezing and pulling upwards, okay? It can be quite hard if you've not done them much before to feel where you're squeezing, but as long as you're squeezing your back passage, you're doing something, and the more that you do it, the more you'll build up that strength. So if you sort of struggle to do it to begin with, just keep going with it, okay? It will build up over time. So we're going to go again for 10 quick squeezes. So we're going to squeeze, release, 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 and squeeze and release. Fab, well done. And just when you're releasing, make sure that you're fully relaxing as well, because I know a lot of people just sort of relax a little bit and then squeeze up again. You need to fully relax your pelvic floor just for it to be effective, this exercise. Okay, and now we're going to squeeze for 10 seconds. If you can't hold it for the full 10 seconds, don't worry, a lot of people can't. So just squeeze it as long as you can and then release when you need to, okay? So engaging our core muscles, and we're going to squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Fantastic, well done. And then we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to squeeze again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Fantastic. Should we get our heart rate up nice and high now? I'm just going to move the mat out the way because I've got sticky, sweaty feet. Grab my weights at the ready. So if you grab your block ready, okay, and we are going to start with toe tap, and we're going to do 30 seconds on, 15 seconds rest, and then we're going to go into forward lunges, okay? So if you grab your block, and we'll get going in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So if you are quite heavily pregnant, or if you struggle with this, feel free to walk it out, okay? So another 15 seconds. Looks a bit like you're doing an Irish jig, I think. 5 more seconds. 2, 1. Rest there for 15, and then we're going into 12 forward lunges. So that's 6 on each leg. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So into your forward lunge. 6 on each leg. Fab. Making sure that knee doesn't go too far over your foot. Should be staying nice and upright. 11, I think. 12, fab. Straight back into those toe taps. So grab your block. 30 seconds on, let's go. That is going to get our heart rate up, ready for exercise. Get us sweating a little bit. We've got those quads fired from those lunges. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. 15-second rest. And then we are going into squats. So we've got 20 squats. Get our glutes nice and fired up, ready for running. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Squatting down, squeezing your bottom at the top. Oh, we love a squat. Who loves a squat? love to hate them, I think. They're just such a good exercise, aren't they? So good in pregnancy. Really, really good. Get your legs nice and strong. Your bottom, your booty nice and strong. Really good one for preparing for labour as well. And fab for running too. If you've got a nice strong glute muscles, you're going to be less likely to get injured then. A lot of the injuries seem to come from weak glute muscles. 18, I think, 19, 20, fab, straight back into those toe taps. 30 seconds on, let's go. Well done, well done. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest there for 15, and then we are going into Sumo Deadlifts. So if you've got your weights, your tins of beans, bottles of water, whatever you've got handy, turning your toes out, and then you're just going to send your bottom out behind you, back up, squeezing at the top. If you suffer from pelvic girdle pain, just do a normal Romanian deadlift. You shouldn't be separating your legs, your pelvis, without sounding funny. Shouldn't be separating your legs just while you've got pelvic girdle pain, okay? So that can make it a bit worse. So 3, 2, can't even speak. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Sending your bottom right out behind you. We're doing 12 of these in total, ladies. Squeezing that bottom at the top. Keep your core nice and tight, keep baby feeling lovely and engaged there. Nice and well supported. And that's just going to work a different part of your bottom to the glutes. It's going to work more on the sides. Oh, I think that was 12, that was probably more than 12. There we go, bonus extra few. Let's go back into toe taps then, lovely. So 30 seconds on, let's go. Straight back into it. And again, remember, walk out if you need to. At any point during the exercise, if you started off doing that, and then you're feeling, oh, lots of pressure from baby, or you're struggling, walk out. Okay, this is your warm-up. You can do it how you want to. 3, 2, 1. Rest there for 15. And then we're going into our last exercise, which is reverse lunge to high kick. If you're struggling with your bump, if you're quite heavily pregnant, you can do lunge and then tap it out in front of you. Just imagine you're running, okay? So, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Whoop, have to get my arms the right way around there. There we go. So you're bringing your arms into it as well. Almost like you're mimicking running. Imagine you're Usain Bolt. So we're doing 10 on each side. 9, 10, swapping round, other side. I have to think about it now. There we go. 3, 4, 5. Whoop, don't lose your balance. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back into toe taps just to finish. So 30 seconds on. Let's go. This is the last one. And then you will be ready for your lovely run. More seconds. Nice, well done. So that is your warm up to running. Feeling nice and warm, feeling ready for a run. Obviously, if you're pregnant, just make sure that you avoid running on any sort of like, especially if you've got a big bump, any trail areas, anywhere you might trip over. Try and keep it, I mean, grass is great, or any sort of like soft, spongy, you know, like a track or something is brilliant too. Road is good because obviously you don't have the trip hazards, and obviously it's much more accessible to most people, but it is heavier, higher impact on your joints, and when you've got relaxin, that hormone flowing through your body, softening those muscles, you are at an increased risk of injury. So if you can find somewhere soft to run, like a big field, fabulous, otherwise road is fab. But yeah, just try and, I mean, if you're a really experienced trail runner and you know you're super careful with your feet, then you go and do that. But I wouldn't go sort of wandering somewhere new, because you might be so focused on the running that you miss what's on your feet, especially if you're clumsy like me. Well, have a lovely day, ladies, anyway. Have a lovely run as well, and I'll see you next week.